I'm hearing echoes though. I'm hearing echoes though. Yeah. I'm hearing echoes though. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's do a brief audio and sound check. Make sure I sound and look good. And you can see, welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I have Jay with me. How do you sound, Jay?
What's going on, Coach Dakota? How we doing? Sounding good over here, looking good as well.
Good.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah, we're going to be testing out some music tonight. We're going to see, like I said, how can we get the music into the stream without any, like you guys see, duplicate, echo, make sure it looks nice and clean, and go from there. So just bear with us a little bit, and I'm of course going to be asking for the audience feedback. So let's test out a few before we get into these markets. And Jay, if you see something moving, stop me, and we'll see if we could do it, because I don't want to have duplicate audio, and I don't want to have any issues with it. That's my number one thing, is duplicated audio and any of that. So go ahead and let me just ask you that question, Jay. How was your day? How was your trading?
Good day overall. I came into the equities looking to buy it. No one else agreed, so then I had to get to the short side. Caught a nice short during fast markets. Traded okay in Topstep accounts, traded a little bit better in my personal account, got an S&P short up near 54.40s for a pretty good day. How was yours, man?
I took a loss last night, man, so I didn't really trade my live account during the New York session, but
okay.
I did trade my combine during the New York session, and I did really well. So it looks like you had an echo for a minute, and I know why. I fixed it. I fixed the echo. Don't worry, everyone. I'm just trying to figure out how can we pump the sound in through OBS. I could pump the sound in if, like, whenever you're not talking, just because of the way it's structured. But we're gonna find out how to do it. Like I said, it's slow markets. It's a great way to test it with anything. Testing is and perfection. Sometimes it's done live. Sometimes the best stuff is done in the moment, right? Learn on the go.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how you're bringing in the audio. So, okay, here you go. Mute that second audio source that you're showing me there. Guess one video. There we go. Should be good to go now.
Yeah, can you guys hear Jay? Okay, everybody?
Should be good to go.
But let's make sure everyone could hear Coach Jay.
There we go. Now we're saying it's good. Echo's going. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can bring the music in now.
Yeah, the thing is, since I'm feeding my audio, they're going to be hearing Discord notifications, and they're going to be hearing order filled. So
order filled is cool.
I want to see if I can. Oh, I could adjust the Discord, I think. Let's see if I could. If you want it.
And
any markets you're seeing, I could share your screen, Jay, if you want to just go over it. And let me just start by going through and say, welcome to Slow Markets. Once again, as always, in the YouTube chat, there is the Top Step risk disclosure. We know it's not a signals class. We know it's for educational purposes only. It's a great reminder for anybody who's new tuning in, and it's very important so that we get that straight across. Risk disclosure, risk disclosure. My good friend Peter Brandt can confirm.
Yeah, let's talk about these markets while Dakota figures out this audio stuff. But wild day in the markets. We had, headlines. We made a deal. We have, a outline for a deal. We didn't make a deal. I think there's still the uncertainty that we've been talking about in these markets is still out there. Let's take a look at the equities. And we talked about this a little bit during At the Buzzer and really all through the Topstep broadcast for the last 2 weeks. The "it's okay to buy, we're delaying tariffs" candle, we're still inside that. Today, it looked like probably the best chance that we had at leaving the upper end of that range. But we can see we rejected there. That's the wrong indicator. 20-day moving average in the S&Ps right now is at 53.95. So far, it's the low of the session. And we did close above it for the first time since March 25th. So maybe some buyers stepping in here. We did see the gap up. But again, these markets have not chosen a direction since April 9th. I think we really need a resolution on some of the, on the trade war that we're having right now. But with that being said, these are huge ranges to trade. There was a ton of opportunity today during fast markets. It was a little tough because the beginning of the day, we were opening up with a 3.5% gap up. And, there wasn't much meat left on the bone for the New York session. But there was a nice short that presented itself. Right now, kind of feels like to me that we're middle of the range. So I don't see too much opportunity in the equities right now, but that does not mean that there won't be any. Going down to a shorter time frame here, let's look at a 30-minute chart from the open. We have the Globex open. I'm looking at the first 30 minutes after the markets open up. If I attach a VWAP to that, it's pretty much a flat line still inside this range, which tells me fade the extremes if I'm going to take a trade. So that would be, shorting here, looking for the market to kind of fade back into this range. But where we're sitting right now, I don't see too much of a trade opportunity. We're kind of in range, in balance from the price action that we had during the New York session. So going to be patient right here for now. Of course, we have the gap lower, right? We gapped up yesterday. We still have that gap. We didn't really trade into it at all. So that's looming out there, right? Traders are going to be looking at that area and saying, hey, are we going to fill that gap or do we just leave it there? We're probably going to trade it at some point. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. What do you think of Dakota?
I tried to fill the gap last night and it hit my daily loss limit. So I'm upset with this gap. Gaps don't always get filled. We know that. And maybe it's just a matter of time. It might not get filled immediately. I traded it last night in the sim account though too and did really well. I gave a great example of how to scale in, how to scale out, how to add to a position when it's going against you, how to add to a position while it's going in your favor. Talking about risk, how to use different ways to stop loss. Coach Jay, I don't know if you noticed this or know this or even talked about it very, very often, is that even though you have a stop loss, you can actually put like a stop order in as like a second stop loss for say you're in 2 contracts and you put a stop order in for 1 and it could stop you out of 1, but you can still have your main stop loss in. So I went over that example, just some more advanced stuff for some of the traders who's been here for a while. If it's too advanced for you, that's okay. We always talk about these other simple things, right? One of the hardest thing as coaches, and this, Jay, is we have traders from around the world. I always say that, but we also have traders from different experience levels, traders who are brand new to these futures markets. That's, what's a candlestick? What's, these types of orders? And then we have traders who's seasoned veterans where they know all this stuff and they're trying to, improve their process. And it's trying to find a good mix of both, answering questions and providing some good education along with trading and content. But I think I solved everything. And Jay, your mic and everything looks and sounds clean, and then nice. You're not blurry. You haven't been blurry since I started the stream. Like, we
fixed it.
Knock on wood.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
I've been adjusting settings. I've been trying to improve the quality of the slow markets class. and it is paying off. Everything's looking good, sounding good. And now let's see if we could start to pump in some music and making sure it doesn't drown out, and it's just some subtle background noise, so that way when there's any awkward silence, you guys get to enjoy that. I don't know if we're going to be, I don't know if I could do like the trading pit sound like MP was suggesting, because this is slow markets. This is the Asian session. But we'll see.
Someone's sweeping up the floor in the pits. There's no one trading in them right now.
Some servers, right? Some servers.
Right.
Since it's so quiet. Okay, so let's see if we could bring in the audio. And you let me know if it's too loud for you, Coach Jay. Audience.
I can still hear you on my side.
Okay. Some AC/DC.
Yeah.
Now it has to be non-copyright, right? I definitely too loud.
Gabe said too loud.
Right. Well, a bit loud.
Yeah.
Okay, how's this?
Way too loud.
We'll turn it
to like 10%.
We don't want it to take the show, but it's just way to.
Maybe a different song.
I mean, okay, let's do a different song. Too loud, too loud, too loud. We'll wait for a minute because there's a little bit of a delay, so I don't want to keep adjusting.
Yeah.
Connell says perfect. So of course, some wants to turn it up. Perfect. Jazz, please.
Jazz would be nice for slow markets, right?
Yeah.
Light a fire.
Don't worry about it. It's not about the song right now, everyone. It's not about the song. The song can always change. It's about the loudness. Bad music. Everyone, it's not about the song. I don't even know this. We could always turn it down.
Your voice is much better than music. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. All right. Jill, like I said, don't worry about the song. It's about how loud or how small it is for a little bit. Better now.
Gabe said about 5% lower.
5% lower. If I do 5%, there's percentages on here. It's a zone. It's a zone, everybody. It's like markets. It's a zone.
Do I see a head and shoulder pattern on the ES? Depends on what time frame, right? Anytime you guys ask about chart patterns, put the time frame in there because it makes it a little bit easier to see. On a 30-minute chart, maybe there is one there.
Let's see. How's that? I think that's the sweet spot right there, Jay.
I think that might be it. Yeah, I think some people are saying perfect volume.
Nice. I can't hear it. I'm deaf. I'm probably deaf, man. I know.
Head and shoulders on the 15-minute.
We'll talk about my personal life.
They came here for the date, Dakota. They didn't come here for music.
I know they didn't come here for music. They didn't come here for the markets. They came about
play some storytelling music.
I tell you what, we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's do our regular rapid fire in the markets, and near the end, maybe I'll mention the date. Maybe I'll mention the movie. Audience here picked the movie, and it was pretty dang good. I liked the movie a lot, to be honest. So
I heard good things. Give us a 30-second review of the movie.
I had my expectations down, man. My expectations were low. I said, hey, just so you know, I didn't pick this movie out, and it was good. I didn't expect that from what I was thinking it was going to be a scary movie. It was pretty entertaining. So I liked it. She liked it. It was all good. But let's get back to these markets, okay? I'm going to jump over to. We're on your chart, Coach Jay. Let me pull up these markets and switch it over to my charts. So, number one, let's take a look at the NASDAQ.
Take a look.
What a mess of a day, too. What a mess in terms of, can we have a normal day where the market's not up or down 2%? I don't know. It seems like every single time I look at this market, we're either up or down 2%. We're either gapping up or gapping down. It's just tape bombs flying everywhere. It's it's war out here with these markets. So taking a look at an hourly chart, I mean, is this just a big range, Jay, from 18,000s, these 18,000 level, plus or minus a few hundred points, back up to this 19,000. So are we in between two big ranges where maybe we could by the end of the week, maybe we see a sell-off back down towards 18,000? Maybe that could be a possibility. We had that big rejection here at 19,000. I mean, that was one heck of a move from that gap. What was it? 4%, right? From yeah, that's a big move. Almost 4.5%, and we got that beautiful rejection, that 3-bar reversal on the hourly chart, and we sold right back off to a level of support. So if we look at this and we say that, yeah, looking at the immediate price action now, this is a nice level of support and resistance. That's where I got in trouble shorting it, and we broke out. And now we are back down at this level, and will this resistance, right? It was resistance, support, resistance. Will that become support now again? And then do we see a leg higher right back up to the highs of what we've seen today? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. You could see the price action that we seen on April 14th, where we did something very similar, right? We gapped up, we came up into this resistance, we pulled back down to this, around this level, and then we rallied and we tested a couple more times before finally selling off back down here. Now, this is pure technicals. This has nothing to do with what's going on with tariffs or any news, because we know that news moves the market sometimes, and we see it. This is pure technicals. And so maybe we're in a similar situation. This market can now be classified from October 21st to here as a trend. We are, or the current trend, the immediate trend. I mean, look at that. From the bottom on April 21st, which was not too long ago, that was just a few days ago, all the way up to the high was 8% in this market. That's freaking volatile, 8.25. So that was quite the move, and now we're seeing a pullback. So about a 2.75 pullback, or 2.25 pullback, or 2.5, whatever. And we're at a level of support. So just in the middle, dude. We're at this level of support. If we break it, if we start to break these lows, then yes, I could see definitely an opportunity to fill this gap. We did fill the gap from that we've seen earlier from April 15th. This gap is now officially filled. And so that's no longer on the back of my mind or anybody's mind. And yeah, maybe we see a leg higher back into this, or maybe we see a leg lower. It's going to go up, but it's going to go down.
Yeah, interesting spot. Like you said, we are in a range. Somebody says it sounds like we're getting ready to play Street Fighter with the music playing in the background.
I can't hear the music, dude. I'll figure that out. Well, it's only gonna get.
Don't
better.
worry about it. It'll get better. But yeah, we're here for markets. We're here to maybe talk about some trades. I'm not seeing too much of an opportunity right now. Again, like I was saying, in the equities, I think with us being so headline driven, the markets feel like they kind of range until they don't. And if we get a volume spike, then yeah, I'm all in. But right now, it kind of just feels like a guess to where we might go next. I was looking at a potential long in gold. Where I don't want to bounce around markets too much, but I was looking for a potential long.
NASDAQ, if you want to hit it, it's on your charts.
So you guys have seen me take this trade a bunch of times before, but we have VWAP from the Globex open. We have the 30-minute range established, and we can kind of see VWAP left that range. We tagged the high and bounced from there. So on a retest of this range, I'm definitely taking this in micros. It's kind of expensive to be trading full gold right now with the minis, but on a retest of this range, if VWAP is trading a little bit higher, I would get in long 33.25s, risking 33.10. So about 15 points. Looking for us to trade back up to yesterday's settlement price, which was 34.19. So pretty big target on this one. gold on a daily. We've been talking about these 3 down days in an uptrend. We got 2 so far, but with the way this price action is looking right now in the shorter time frame, it's kind of saying long, and I don't hate buying gold. Hoag, JD, and I were talking about maybe putting on a house account swing trade where we get gold at a nice level on a higher time frame pullback and just buy it and hold it to make new all-time highs. That area would be this 20 moving average here. Right now it's at 3207. Obviously it's going to trail up as we have price action for the day, but I'm looking to potentially buy gold.
Buy gold, and I agree with that, Jay. I really agree with that.
So where do we buy it?
You guys could hear the Discord notification still? I'm laughing, man. The chat behind the scene is actually so hilarious. trying to make these small adjustments and tweaks, right? Volume is low. I'm low. Volume. Haven't noticed them. Buy gold. No music, please. I like the shorts.
One for 4 with the music so far. Gabe says, I like this song. Little jazz vibes, this is the perfect story time music to tell us how that date really went, Dakota, but we're here to talk about markets.
We'll set the mood when we're talking about the dates. We got some mood settings. Hey, there's the music list on this website that is royalty free or whatever. It's like there's thousands, dude. It's thousands. So I'll get some playlists. I'll get a few good music that we could just have in the background that is not going to drown out what Slow Markets is really about.
Yep.
I don't think everyone's gonna pay attention until I start talking about that date. That's what it's looking like.
Kind of set yourself up for it, but that's why we're here.
That's why you tune into Slow Markets. Talking about dating. What is up? Why can't we just trade and talk about the markets? Yeah. 500 likes and I'll talk. Gabe out here. I like that gold long, Jay.
Yeah.
Look at that. Chart.
Pushing up to this 3350 area as well. Yeah, on the hourly, this looks like a buy, right? It looks like buy it now. The risk is the question, right? Where do you set an entry on a trade and again, it would definitely have to be micros. But where do you set an entry on a trade like this? If I was paying attention to the Globex Open, I would be long already. Off of this, 3 minutes, we left that range pretty quick. But at this point, I kind of got to wait for a pullback to buy it.
Chat's not gonna let it go, dude. Chat's not.
I feel like I need a whiskey glass and a cigar listening to this to this music.
we can't get serious. We're trying to get serious and talk about trading, and chat's not gonna let it go. We're talking about the date and this music.
Yep.
Maybe we have a fireside chat. Is this what this is good for? Fireside chat, Jay?
That's what it sounds like. Talk about life, all of our goals.
Talk about dating advice.
Right.
Reminisce.
I gave you a suggestion yesterday, and it would have worked out actually. I said take your date to go see the Laker game, put $500 on the Lakers, and whatever. If you win, then she gets to take the winnings and plan the next date with however much the winnings were going to be. It would have worked.
Those winnings are in my pocket, man.
Right.
It's my time. All right, who wants dating advice? I got some dating advice. It's not that hard. Dating is so much easier than trading these markets, to be honest. It really is, man. I don't know why guys, I've talked to a lot of my friends. I've talked to a lot of guys. I can't take this serious. I can't take this serious. That would be made. Oh man.
Oh man.
It's not that hard, everybody. It's not for guys or girls. It's just a few simple rules. You take care of yourself. You take care of your hygiene, like brushing your teeth, getting a haircut. Take care of your skin, like wash, right? Very basic standards. And then something that seems to be lost, to be honest, Jay, is the basic chivalry of opening the door, listening, right? Just listening to it, to whoever.
Listening to understand, not to respond.
Yeah, listen to understand. Don't listen to respond, and that's it. I to be honest, I'm not one to drive a fancy car and to have a fancy watch or anything fancy. It doesn't take that. It really doesn't. In any form. I mean, that's not the kind of person I'm looking for that cares about materialistic stuff. Number one is standards. Like, have good conversation, listening, charisma, and the basics.
Yep. Sounds about right to me.
It's simple. I don't know why people overcomplicate it, why people make a big deal out of it. Yeah, I've never understood that.
Danielle.
Where did that one come from?
That's a thing on social media. Oh man.
Is that what? Is that really?
Yeah, when we do the TS Tinder show, Danielle is definitely going to be the host of it.
Slow dating. Slow dating in slow markets.
Do we need a poll in the chat? Do you wash your legs in the shower? Please don't. All right, these markets are not doing much of anything right now.
Come on. I mean, but honestly, you don't see guys opening the door. Here's something. Top Steps International. You know what I don't see a lot? What I that should see more of, that people don't really understand here that anymore, is that a simple thing. When you're walking down the sidewalk with the girl, Jay, the guy should stand.
You got to walk on the outside.
Yeah, in between the traffic and the girl. I don't see that very often. There's some very common practices and just being a general good person and a gentleman that I personally see lacking. And it doesn't take money. It doesn't take fancy cars. It takes that level of basic chivalry and gentleman to have a girl.
Yep. Dakota, you're sitting at you're at a date, and LeBron James walks into the restaurant that you're in. Who sees him first?
Okay, say that.
You or your date. You're on a date at a restaurant, and LeBron James walks into a restaurant, the same restaurant that you're in. Who sees him first? You or your date?
It depends on which way you're sitting.
Well, there's only one way you should sit.
We should see it at the same. Oh, that's a good question. There you go. I don't know.
The answer's you, man. You got to be sitting and watching the door, just in case anyone who's not LeBron
you're
walks in.
You're gonna see that dude from a mile away.
You got to watch the door.
Security. You're gonna have security. Chivalry is dead. Towards the door. Dakota got bull trapped. That was a whipsaw right there, dude.
Dude is 6'9". Everyone's gonna see him. Hey, we got gold rallying a little bit. Really didn't give me the pullback I was looking for to get in here. Was looking for a little bit closer to VWAP here, but let's see what happens at these 33.50s here in gold. Let me pull up my DOM. There we go.
All right, let's get back to these markets, man. Let's find some opportunities. Gotta find some opportunities. I like a short NASDAQ.
Order filled.
I'm short NASDAQ in my live account. It's
okay.
Good looking short. I'm looking
micros,
at this.
minis.
Yeah, one mini. I'm not screwing around.
Yeah.
One mini. I like this short. I even might add to it. Like, I'm looking at this as a higher. Here's a low or a high, a lower high, and I think this is a decent possibility of. I mean, from a technical standpoint, as a lower high. And if we can start to break down below these 30s, I could see us testing 18,800 with a possibility of coming back down to these 760s.
I like this trade. We talked about the range. VWAP is kind of lower. Nice trade. No hesitation. VWAP's at 820, just so you know.
All right. Let's add to this.
Order filled.
There we go. 2 minis. There we go, chat. Here we go, chat. Here we go, chat. 2 minis. This is the biggest size I've taken in slow markets for a while. Other than obviously the combine, right? The combine was doing a demonstration last night, so we're gonna get this. I'm gonna put this on the 100 tick chart. We're gonna go audio, and then do we just? I want to do something similar I was doing last night. Be honest. Add.
Yeah, I like this trade. I can't trade micros in this account, but I can trade the ES or minis. Sorry, I can't trade minis. I can trade micros.
Oh, this could be. Obviously, when the trade's going in your favor, you wish you had more of a bigger position on.
Right.
My normal 5 minis. If this sets up right, Jay, I could be getting into a pretty big position to what I was in last night.
Yeah, I know during the day today, during New York session, I was actually short as well, looking for that gap fill potential. It's still out there. Does that happen tonight? But yeah, I do like this trade, at least down to the lower end of where we opened up.
Right. Now I'm risking 50 points on this. 50 points with 2 minis is 2,000. But if I'm able to build a position, what I'm thinking of right now, watching this, so I did the analysis, and we start to gain that momentum to go test these lows, and then we end up breaking that, yeah, I could see getting in a position to maybe fill this gap. We're up 0.13% tonight. Let's take a look at the data. Outside of a tweet coming from anywhere, right? Initial jobless claims coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Thoughts so far, Jay?
We're kind of holding VWAP here a little bit. If VWAP wants to, if we want to sell through that, then I'm looking lower end of this range, 780s. But we did kind of just bounce off of VWAP there, which is at about 815s. And I like the trade. It's just about how we get down to the lower end of that range. Uh, 18,824. I have VWAP right now.
Okay.
Gold is moving, guys. Yeah, I know. I did not get my pullback that I was looking for, unfortunately, in gold. That's just going to be one that got away, unless we get a nice pullback. But it is just going right now. Same idea, flows to the upside in this trade. And the reason I didn't take it earlier was just because, it was just a little bit too much risk. Sometimes they go without you. But if gold is going where I think it's going on the next pullback, I'll buy it because I'm looking for room up to 3420s. My market button is not broken, but I didn't want to take a unnecessary risk on that trade.
Let's see if this trade's going to let me do it. Trying to sign in for this music.
Oh, don't worry about the music right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just it requires me to sign in to adjust some of these settings. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Security. I'm watching this market because I do want to. If there's an opportunity to add, I want to add. My only concern about this right now, Jay, is do you see this on the 5-minute chart where we haven't made a
higher lows?
Yeah, this could be a higher low. Now I don't want to overanalyze this, which I am known for on myself. But so I'm looking at this to be: is this going to be a lower high? And the fact that, did we just break the previous higher low, and then now we're going to see a continuation lower? Now this is slow markets, it's not fast markets, and fast markets, I'm probably going to like this a little bit better. But yeah, as of right now, I need to see some follow through. If we could get some momentum down below this 18,800 level, then yeah, the test of these 740s, 750s, we're going to be looking very tempting.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing I see right now, again, VWAP is holding pretty much to the tick. 18,822.
On the opposite side, I'm trying to look for a bearish reason to get in. Or bullish reason, right? I'm trying to look for a reason to buy this market. And I don't really see one until we like break out of this resistance. And we could break out of this resistance. And if we do, I don't want to be in this market, because if we do break out, it's a lot more, obviously, if we break out, we're bullish. But we'll see. I'm still liking this trade.
I really did like shorts in the ES up at near 54.40s earlier today. If we get back up in that zone, I think I'd be inclined to kind of short again. I know David Green was looking at a short in the ES from 54.11s, kind of where we're trading right now.
All right.
Up near 20s, I'll place a short if we get some rejection up there.
Just kind of chopping.
Yeah.
That was what, a 10-point range so far. We went down to 822 and we're back up to 836. So about 12. Still pretty dang volatile. Like 10-point moves like this are happening so quick, and here in slow markets as well. Fast markets, it feels like that's just nothing.
Yeah, fast markets today was pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, as long as this trade holds under 850s, even up to 850s, 860s, still valid. Right now, we're kind of just, the Asia session opened up at 7 p.m. Central Time. Shout out to Blue Boy in the chat for pointing that out. We're kind of just chopping around in that range right now.
All right. How has your XFA trading been?
It's been up and down. I think I started this XFA last week. And I've been only trading S&Ps. When I traded the Russell the other day, actually went really well. I kind of like that market. The movement in the Russell was a lot more fluid than the NASDAQ and the S&Ps, where like if I was looking for follow through on a move in the S&Ps, it didn't do it, and the Russell did. So I might be trading that a little bit more. The money's still green in the Russell, but it's been kind of up and down.
Do you find a specific product that you're doing well with now in this type of market environment?
The Russell, and if I and gold, the Russell and gold lately.
Okay, so
yeah, Russell Gold ES. I honestly, I don't even really look at the NASDAQ anymore.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
I messaged my brokerage. Like I can't even trade the NASDAQ on my account. It's locked out. If I click an order, doesn't place it in NASDAQ or micro NASDAQ, I think I'm done.
You think you're done, and you can do the same thing in the Topstep X too now, right?
Yep. Yes, you can
lock them out. And I was talking about that during my risk management. The 150 subscribers was like, yeah, it's a useful tool. If you see that you're struggling in a specific market, don't trade it. Wait for things to settle down, and then you could take a look and maybe consider trading it. Choppy market, man. Not much is happening. Let me zoom out a little bit on the hourly. Let me switch it over back to my charts. Still looks pretty good. Still looks good. I still like this trade. I still like it. I'm going to
Order
add to
filled.
this. I am now short 3 minis. Look at this 1 hour chart. So I'm going to explain something on this 1 hour chart and why I'm starting to like it even more is look at all these wicks, right? This is during the New York session. That was a lot of buyers stepping in support, right? Support and resistance. You could see a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of resistance there, support, resistance. And then now look at this on the hourly chart. That's now becoming resistance. So is this a good example of maybe this was support becoming resistance? So a move lower is looking really nice, pending any tape bomb.
Dakota, I know you can't hear the music. If you can skip this song.
All right. We'll skip it. We could skip the song. Just tell me if you want me to skip, chat.
There we go. Now this is good.
If you want me to skip it, we'll skip it. We're jamming out, trading 3 minis here.
This is good. I like the vibe of this though.
We need some intense sell-off music.
Need a Adobe drum solo.
Adobe drum solo. Get him out here. We need live music. We need the Big Short. The Big Short music. Some should have wore a purple tie. A purple tie for this sell-off. Just taking it
Sell
sweet
it
time
today. VWAP 822s. It held the last test there, but let's see if we break it this time. Man, gold is just gonna rally, isn't it? Anyone in that gold long in chat? Nice trade if you are. Again, target for me would be at least 3400s to the upside, so I am trying to find a spot to get into this.
Oh, nice. That gold is looking.
Man, it's just going.
It's ripping.
just going.
On the hourly chart, it looks good too.
It really does. Like the hourly looks like it's just getting started. And of course, anything can change, but we tag those 3300s, major psych level, kind of pushing up here.
Order filled.
And gold rallying is good for the equity short.
Don't jinx it, man. I could hear the music a little bit now. It's very, very faint. I have to listen.
Yeah.
I added
Feels
to my
like I'm,
short.
Nice.
Oh, everybody. Short 4 minis. It says Dakota, don't get on gold, it will reverse. Don't get on gold, it will reverse. My targets are going to be, my targets right now is basically 808, the lower, closer to 800, and then low of session, 740s. But we'll see. We shall see. Stop loss, better entry. No, I'm not going to, I better not say that. I'm going to put that out there in that universe.
Andres says you're long 8 minis in gold. That's a big trade right there. Nice trade.
8 minis on a gold. I'm loving it.
That's a big trade.
Yeah, that is. That is. You keep adding to your short, you're going to wear pants. Huh, that's a good one.
Nothing had a question. Any source to learn about the DOM? If you check in the Topstep coaches library, under the Coach J tab, we did a intro to tape reading class, and we explained the DOM in that intro class. So check that out. And then if you have any questions, let me know. I don't have any other resources outside of that, and I probably need to redo those videos at some point just to update them. But maybe we can, we'll do another kind of standalone class and go from there. Man, gold is just rallying new highs on the day.
Really? That was such a viable pullback then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this music. I like the music. It's just when there's silence, I don't feel like I'm just like alone in the room or there's an awkward silence.
I feel like I'm in an arcade in the 80s.
Yeah? Well,
Sounds like it's good. I like it.
Oh, switch it up. Switch it up. We'll get a playlist going, a slow markets playlist. All right, come on, shorts. Let's get going.
Order filled.
Let's get going.
You adding to this?
I added to it. You guys heard of the order filled?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Short 5 minis. Who wants to see it?
Huafu says, do orders in the NASDAQ affect market prices in MNQ? They are different markets, but they are kind of meant to kind of track each other, right? They're derivative products, like so they are going to track each other, but they're not always exact. For example, today in the S&P, 5,500 in the S&P we didn't trade, but 5,500's traded in the MES. So they're going to follow each other. Well, the micros are going to follow the minis, but it's not going to be exact. Different market participants, right? That's usually different volume. They should be pretty similar.
Yeah. And everyone's asking, what's my drawdown? I'm looking at risking $5,000 on this trade. We'll see if we could pay for dinner. Pay for dinner. Is this paying for dinner?
VWAP's at 23 now.
I'm not feeling this vibe.
This is where in this gold trade, it's almost kind of got to look away because now I'm feeling like I need to click the button to be into this trade, and that's when you get the pullback. So what I'm looking for still has to play out, right? We at this point we need to get a pullback, probably down to VWAP, 33.40s. That's a pretty big pullback. I might be asking for a lot, but I also don't need to trade, right? Trading is optional. Had opportunities to take them before. What we can't do, and I think a lot of times what we try to do as traders is to make up for the money that we missed.
Oh, look at NASDAQ, Jay. NASDAQ.
We selling?
NASDAQ.
Nice.
Let's get it. Let's get those 800s for a target. 800s for the target. I could add more here and tighten up my stop loss. But I like that move. We still have these 800s to see if we could test and break through. I got 806, maybe down to 801. But I like this break. Obviously, if you like it when it's going in your favor. Markets don't usually just go directly in your favor unless you are going directly to your stop loss. In my experience, anyway, goes directly to your stop loss, but not directly to your take profit. But we can watch these markets for a minute. Gold or NASDAQ is still up 0.06.
Luca Brazzi says, if MQ and MNQ are different, they're different market participants, how is price so close, nearly within a point? That's a market maker's job, right? To make the markets and keep them close, right? So there are some market participants that have to keep liquidity on the books. Their job is to keep the markets close. When you'll really see the difference between NQ and MNQ? When there's a 50 tick spread in the NASDAQ and there's a 6 tick spread in MNQ. They'll trade different prices. If you have them both up during like extreme volatility, you'll see the difference.
Correct. Yes. Yep. The order book in the micros, it's a lot thicker because of how small it is. You typically have a tighter spread.
Yep.
All right, NASDAQ. Let's just keep going down. 21 points. That is quite the move here during slow markets.
Like 780s. Not seeing anything really on the books either. 14 contracts sitting at 18,800. So somebody wants to just sell through that.
Eight tens. Yeah, look, we got some positive comments. Nice background beats. There we go. Well, thank you. If we could break through this, we might get another burst lower if we could break through these 808s. Just no one say anything. No one say anything.
Just don't talk. Let the music,
let
do the
music.
talking. I can answer questions, while we're in here. So if market makers run price, retail has no effect. No, I wouldn't say that. Dakota just placed these live market trades. The books are going to move right now. How much of an effect does he have? Right, he's trading a 5 lot. So if there's no liquidity on the books and he markets out of that 5 lot, is he going to move price? 100%, right? We've seen it a couple of times before, but bigger market participants are going to move price a little bit more than others.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, I said, speaking of which, right, shout out to Rips, right? Rips, your trading buddy, he's been killing it. And I saw him talking a little bit earlier. He was saying he traded at a 20 lot and moved price like 1.5 points getting out of a trade. And I would consider him a retail trader, right? He's not trading in institutional size. Correct. 20 lots is going to move the market.
Yes, and it also depends on timing, right? I mean, it was me and you here before. It's slow markets last year. 30 contracts, and you market in or out of a position with 30, you're moving the market. And it might be temporarily, yeah, but it's still orders, and 1 or 2 contracts can move the market. And the Nikkei, it's all relative. We're not going to change the market direction. A retail trader won't move the market so dramatically, like, oh man, it's now bullish. No. Let's go through 804, 806.
Nice trade. Stratic FX, because trading is open pretty much all hours. Do you limit yourself? Yeah. When I'm on slow markets, I'll take some slow markets trades, take some trades at night. But if I'm not on the show, my charts are closed, and I trade during the New York session.
That's something I have a hard time doing sometimes as well.
It's really hard.
It is.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Thank you for sharing that, Danielle. When do we want to your call on that?
Oh yeah. Let's manage this trade, and near the end we could talk about that one a little bit more.
Sounds good.
Talking about we talked about that before, but look at his market going 800 even. We hit it.
Took out whatever was at 800s.
790s.
I like 780s here. Gold's still rallying. Mother.
I think it's the music, man.
I think it is. Good vibes. First night of playing music. Banger trade.
Market doesn't.
I'm
NASDAQ
flat.
Doesn't like it. That's okay.
Great trade here, though.
This is where I get a little bit nervous sometimes in a trade like this. Now we're at a point where this was the high from that rally when we gapped up and we peaked out like right here. It's a nice round number, so there's a little bit of nerve. Sometimes markets can bounce off a nice round number. 800. You could see where we've consolidated and tested it a couple times. There's some support and resistance, but then if we do break and hold below 800, then we could easily pick up momentum to the next level, which can be 750s, 760s. You said you like the 80s. I could see that. We had one pivot right there, so we'll see. Obviously, with the power of hindsight, I would have loved to close some of that position off right there at 800 or a little bit lower, but let's see how we react. We'll see if support could become resistance, where this was support. And let's see if the support can become resistance. It's a song. I'm switching it. So this market. I found something else to blame.
Yeah, we need music to tell the market to go down, not up. That was Luca Brasi says Dakota isn't moving the market. Yes, you're 100% correct. The collective efforts of market participants placing orders move the market. You are 100% correct, Luca. I'm not sure if you're trying to prove a point, but yes.
There is 100 contracts though at 805 and 3/4. That just
Yes,
came
there
in.
are.
Let's take a look at those on the DOM. And so I like that coming in. Let's see if that order, it got pulled. Did it get pulled
Yeah,
or failed?
yeah, it did. Yeah, no, it got pulled. 805s, it got pulled.
Interesting. Spoofers.
Remember all the size that we saw getting traded in the ES? So Dakota, remember back in February, we saw all of that selling up at those highs,
Yes.
and we sold off. Same thing happened in the S&Ps today, under 5,500. Right? Somebody was throwing 1,000 lots out there. Then another 500 came in at 5,500 evens. We didn't trade one contract of it.
Selling it or
Sell
buying
off.
it?
Selling. They were on the offer.
Interesting. I know
Yeah.
we got to the upper end of that on the higher time frame when I looked at the daily and the hourly chart, right? And so it could easily be bigger market participants saying, hey, you know, we rallied, let's get out until this market starts to settle down a little bit. Like this is an opportunity to either hedge or, yeah, it makes sense. Buy low, sell high in this market.
So Phenom, that's a good point. You said the market was, and we were talking about it on Topstep TV during the fast markets, that we were looking at those orders, and sometimes the market will look at those orders and kind of run away from them, right? Where, hey, that's too much size to trade through, so we're just going to sell right in front of it. But the market didn't have a problem trading through those 1,000 lots, which means there is a market participant who's buying those, but for whatever reason, they stopped at 5,500 to the tick, right? 54.99 and the orders was the high of the day. And I think we talked about it. That's a really good sign where think about all of the weaker hands that might have been buying up there, right? All the day traders that might have been buying and saying, oh, we're going to, the market's going to break out above this 5,500. Those are going to be the first people to sell when, the market doesn't make a new high and kind of pushed us lower there. So I think all that being said, we haven't seen convinced buyers in these markets since the beginning of February, mid-February, and today was another perfect example of that.
Okay, makes sense. Well, we took a brief look below 800, and it was really brief. It was literally just a moment, right?
Yeah.
As low as 93. I didn't think we really got that low. It didn't seem like it, but that is pretty low for just a sweep below 800. And now we're holding above 800, which I do not like at all. We'll see. We'll see if we could have this market push us back down and test below into those 90s. We're still trying to hold below this pivot point right here on the 5-minute chart at these basically where we are at right now. 809s, 812s, it's a zone. And to be honest, in slow markets and the way that how volatile this market's been, 5 to 10 point moves is like noise, which is weird to say.
Would you scale out of this trade at all?
Yes, that's what
I know
I
you're
plan
talking
to
about
do.
scaling up. Okay.
With the power of hindsight, I would have loved to close out a one when we first
Under 8
broke through that. Yeah. But if we do get another move lower, then yeah, I'm going to look to close out a one, a couple of them, and then scale out as we go down when with a plan to have a runner, right? I would love to have a runner if we can start to break through and then have a runner to look to go see if we could attempt to fill this gap. Now, I got smacked around last night trading for a short to try and fill this gap. It sucks that the gap's there sometimes, looking for a short, but there is an opportunity. If this market does run, that gap is a target. We've seen it happen many times. Maybe it won't happen until the New York session or the next day or the next. Maybe it will never happen. But if we do start, then yeah, that gap fill provides a good opportunity for traders looking to short it and some targets. So we shall see.
All Zydar says, do you think technicals matter when the market is very slow? Because anyone can move the market either way. Yeah, I mean, the most technical indicator that I look at is volume. So yeah, I think it does matter, but it's all your perspective, right? What are you looking to gain from that information, right? Sometimes the technical is saying that there's no trade to place, right? I had asked Brian Shannon that when he was on talking about anchored VWAP, and I asked him about a flat VWAP, and he said sometimes the signal is don't take a trade. So
I like that. Sometimes
yeah.
the signal is not to trade.
Yep. Gold, maybe a little rounding top here. Got a lot of wicks on these 3-minute candles up at 33.70. Could reject there. That's kind of our Sunday gap. Is that Sunday or yesterday? Yesterday's gap. Yesterday's gap in gold we're kind of trading into right now. Seeing some hesitation there. This could give us the pullback here. I'm not looking to short this market right now, at least. So this could be giving me the pullback that I'm looking for to potentially get into this.
Just go up, gold. Don't pull back. Straight up. Moon.
Yeah.
We're gonna moon. I do like the music though, Jay.
I do too.
Yeah, while we're waiting for this trade to play out, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we were going to talk about a little bit earlier. And yeah, do we I just want to confirm one thing.
What's that?
Casting call. We talked about it.
Oh yeah.
The other day. What was it? Was it Monday? It's already Wednesday. About seeing about bringing traders on, talking to traders maybe through phone, and yeah, everyone take a look. Let's copy the link. I'm horrible at copy pasting sometimes. And look at the YouTube chat. There is the casting call. Everybody in slow markets in the YouTube chat, there's the casting call. Go there, click on it, fill it out. And like we were talking on Monday, Coach Jay and I, about bringing a trader on, and there it is. Casting call form link as above. I posted it there. And there it is.
Let's get that pin to the top of the chat. If you want to join us for slow markets here, again, I'm going to be on twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays for the foreseeable future. It would be great to get some traders on and just talk about markets, right? Talk about trades, talk about why you like fading Topstep TV, talk about why you like who your favorite coach is, all that stuff.
Yeah, and if we like you, we might even let you pick the music.
Let's be real, Dakota. They're sitting in whoever's joining us as the trader, they're sitting in the back seat. Passengers don't get to touch the radio.
They don't get they can't be the DJ, the dedicated DJ.
Right. we gotta trust you to pass the aux.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's gonna take a few trust tests to make sure you can handle that type of power.
Right.
Yeah.
Little bounce there.
Yeah, those 800, man. That 800 evens. Trust the process. Let's see how we. That was 25-point bounce. This volatile market just does not seem like it's this. It just jaded.
Yeah, these are
jaded, man. Like 29 points actually. 28, 29 point bounce. This y-axis and these candlesticks is. They don't seem like it's much until you actually measure it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the function of the platform, right, where it it adjusts to the ATR.
Correct. Now, one thing I'm considering, I see some traders in the chat doing this, talking about this, is if I see consolidation and a reversal, could this be an adding opportunity to add to a position that's already broke some support I was looking for it to break? And my answer is going to be yes. If I do see consolidation up here and another reason to get into this market, can I add to this position? My answer is definitely yes. I am in 5 minis, which is my maxed allocation for what I typically like to trade. I'm risking $5,000. 5 minis, 50 points, $5,000. But there's nothing wrong with adding. I demonstrated it last night. We'll see if tonight, but I'm not liking this now because we are pushing higher than I would like. But if we start to reverse, and if this gives us a structure, if this gives me the market structure to tighten up my stop loss and add while still risking the same amount, I would. For example, if I cut my stop loss in half, say 25 points, then it's valid for me to add 5 more minis. So I'd be in 10 minis if that's the case. But that's a lot. That right now, what we're seeing right now, we completely reverse that sell-off.
Yep. Yeah, that rejection at those 800s.
That was those 800s. Was looking for a little bit lower, and we did not get it.
So, manage your trade.
No, there's nothing for me to manage right now. It's just watching and analyzing it. You?
I was just going to ask would there be. I think you already kind of talked about it. Looking at gold here, continuing to rally, little flagging pattern, and it feels like gold wants to go fill that gap down that we had yesterday. We kind of did fill it already last night, but this has been a pattern that we've been seeing. The Asia coming in and kind of buying gold, getting the rally started early. This thing is just continuing to go.
Yeah, it is. We got as high as what, 33,500?
35.10, 35.09.90. Literally one tick away from Hoag's weekly kickoff high.
Really?
Yep.
And then just sold off casual.
This is
$100.
just. We're up 3.25% in gold from this morning. Yeah, I mean, that sell-off looked pretty aggressive, but again, this is kind of what we've been seeing in this market. It makes a new all-time high, sells off pretty aggressively. It's profit-taking, but gold is rallying because of all of the uncertainty that we're seeing right now. And along the way, am I going to take some profits? Yes, but this is really the last, last real pullback we've had on a daily in 2 weeks, right? We had the it's okay to buy, we're delaying tariffs day. We've been rallying since then. Nice little pullback is healthy in a bull market, and we're continuing to go. So
makes sense. And
kind of sick that I missed that trade, but
this
it is what it is.
NASDAQ.
Go ahead. Yeah, it has to be looking good for that trade. Go ahead.
Beautiful hindsight, missed opportunity to add, right? But that's okay. I didn't see it. It just happened too fast, right? On 100 tick. There was no consolidation and then breakdown. It was literally just up and then straight back down to these 14s. It's just down, straight up, straight back down. Not the consolidation and pivot I wanted to see. But the fact that we made a lower high again, right? If we look at this 100 tick chart, we are continuing to make these lower highs. So this is a very positive sign right now. We need to continue to do that. The next stage would be to make a lower low, right? We need to break this low. I do not want to see that break this pivot high. This is now a possibility for me to move my stop loss, tighten up my stop loss. I'm going to continue to watch it. If we do start to break this low, then that's going to be this right here where this pivot was is now my new stop loss. And so that would give me the chance to eliminate risk from this trade, but miss that opportunity to add. I still might get one, but we shall see. This market making lower highs, and so now it's time to see if we can make lower lows. What a beautiful rejection of those 30s.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Usually
that was the support earlier, right?
Yeah. Usually my entry would be if I'm short, it'd become support. Right? That's usually how it works. But what a swing of emotions. I know there was definitely a time when I guarantee it, Jay, it is when I was first trading where I would have closed out of the position, re-entered, try to reverse it. I probably would have hit my daily loss limit, and then this market sells off and be like, if I would have not messed with the trade, it would have worked out. I see that happening in this particular exact move where, we sold off and then we start to rally. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have took profit. Reverse. And I reverse as it's getting back to where I entered. And then it starts to sell off and it hits my stop loss. I'm like, dang it. And then maybe I reverse again, or then now I'm getting into a long right here, and then it sells off. And then it's just like,
I had it right initially and I second guessed myself.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I was actually going to ask, and I kind of stopped myself or asking you, would you take profits on this? And then could you get back into the trade if it's set up again? Sometimes the market presents an opportunity to do that. Sometimes exactly what just happened, you could have taken profits at those highs for 2 points and then it sells off 30. And now you're thinking about the money that you should have made. And that's why I just shut up, right? Trade what you see. Because everyone has a different management style.
And then while you're in the trade, traders, myself included, always think this, right? Well, what if you would have just taken profits at 800 and then re-added once you get back there, right? Or got in long and then got in short. It's like it's very easy to think about that. I can't remember who it was, but someone I used to trade with or talk about trading with, they say God mode, right? Where you're just in no way could you expect to pick the exact tops and bottoms and all these little incremental reversals on the smaller time frame. It's impossible. You just want to be happy to catch a piece of the move. And so thinking that way of, I should have took profit here, then re-added there, or reverse long, or this and that, the less you think and the less actions you make as a human, typically the better off you are eliminating the human error. Because this market's really good. Markets are really good at bringing out the human error that we have as a retail trader.
Markets are built on emotion.
Yes, they are.
Built on emotion. I'm going to have to whisper. Everybody says I'm too loud. Chat's saying I'm too loud, so I'm going to use my inside voice. I use my slow markets voice, my Barry White.
So that the music doesn't drown you out when we first started. So I got you, Jay.
Yeah.
There we go. You're back to it.
Sounds good. Let's see what happens at these 800s if we get through here.
Yeah, we're right back down to that same area we were consolidating in earlier. We bounced off these 808s to 804s. If we break through, I think we could see some momentum, dare I say, straight down to those 60s.
Yeah. That's where I'd be looking at 80s first, 80s and then 30s is what I have here.
All right. And let me find a nice song. Let's do this. The Prophet is what this name of this song is.
Soundtrack to a sell-off.
I've never heard it before. Let me know if it's good, chat. While we watch this market, we need some dramatic music for a market sell-off is what we need. Some Jerome chants in the chat. The slow markets, this is true slow markets. Son, can't sleep until you hear about the date. I kind of told you it was good. I really enjoyed the music, the movie that everyone recommended in chat. So great work, chat. I might have to do a poll in the chat whenever I have a date for a movie recommendation, maybe even date recommendations on activities. Why do I need to make another decision? Why don't I just delegate that to the YouTube chat?
Leave it to the chat.
Yeah. Then if it's good, I take credit. If it's bad, I blame the chat. Delegate life decisions to the YouTube chat.
That could get dangerous.
I don't know how I'm gonna turn it.
It could
Yeah.
be dangerous. We don't know who's behind these usernames. Most have good intentions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The power of the numbers. Bots.
Coach Hoop, don't forget you can write it off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. With them. My life is just gonna be one big thing on YouTube for. Well, what's going on? What's happening to us, Jay?
As long as I don't become one of those, you ever see those TikTokers that someone someone like posts an emoji and they have to act out the emoji? If I ever become one of those,
Yeah, please.
shut
no.
it all down.
No thanks.
Shutting it all
No,
down.
no thanks on that.
And
Yeah.
shout out to them, man. I mean, they get your money, but
Buyers stepping in right at those 804s. These 804s, 808s again.
yeah. Don't like that reaction at 800s, but let's see. Holding under VWAP right now. 8 VWAP's at 820.
Yeah, if we break through the wall of buyers at that level, then it'd be a breakout trade, right? Breakout to the downside, pick up momentum.
Somebody asked a question. I think I lost it. Oh, settlement prices. Settlement prices. Give me 1 second. I'll get those for you guys.
Yeah, I'll switch it up to your chart.
NASDAQ settlement was 18,803.75. S&P settlement was 54,01.75. So 18,803.75 is kind of where we're bouncing around right now, right around settlement.
Do you trade settlement a lot?
I'll look at it. And the reason I look at it is because, and it's just, I mean, easy thought process, but above it, the market is green for the day. Below it, the market's red for the day. So sometimes when I'm reading volume, I'm like, okay, what are the market participants' intentions for the day? Do they want to try to keep this market green, or do they not care and let it go red? Sometimes I'll use it as a target, but it's just another level, another price level.
Yeah, let's turn it red, man. Let's turn it red. Yeah, 803. We're up 0.06%. We don't want to. We don't want to. What do they call it? It just hairline. Like does little tiny details does not matter too much for me. Whether it's 0.07, 0.06, it's a zone. Anything's a zone on my end. I'm seeing this. You said settlement is 803, so I'm seeing this.
Yeah, 803 orders.
One big zone.
Yeah, here's that pullback, Coach Hoop. In gold.
All right. Oh, well, let's sell off together. Let's sell off right back down, below 810. More consolidation. Gold done. Add new short, recent lows. Like I said, I really want to start seeing these lows tested into these 50s and 60s, and just depending on how this market reacts, I don't mind closing a couple if we do start to break down below 800 again. This is slow markets, and time goes by fast. It's been going by fast a lot.
Mardas asks, am I going to get in long gold here? I just asked the question in the chat. Anyone who joins at the buzzer, you know what this white line is up here. And if I'm buying gold, it has to be much lower at this point. If 33.50s hold, maybe 33.25s. But 200 moving average on the 30-minute chart is the high of the session so far in gold. I can't buy it this close to it with that kind of rejection.
Fair enough.
Might be a good short though, and if anyone caught that.
Back down to these 806s. Let's see. Let's get some momentum. The momentum. Momentum in slow markets usually don't go hand in hand. $804.
It's crazy. We only got 9 minutes left of slow markets.
Yeah, can you believe that?
It was
Can you
quick,
believe
man.
that? Time flies when you're having fun. We just we could just pull an all-nighter and pass it off to Aaron for the London Open.
If the markets stay this active,
Yeah, if this market
then,
sells off, then why not?
I mean, if I'm staying awake though, I have to take a trade. I'm getting in something. I'm not going to stand here and just talk and look pretty. Gotta make something happen.
Yeah, here we are, right at settlement. Well, we was for a brief moment. Oh, big order come in, I think. Did the big order come in? 100, 804.
100, 804.
Let's watch to see if that gets filled. They pulled it.
Again, that's the second time.
What is their intentions?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe hold it up so I can sell a little bit more before we let this thing go.
Yeah,
there we go.
Ooh.
Nice short.
Ooh.
Sounds like we're in a Star Wars movie right now, but
Oh, it's if market's going down, I'm not changing music.
it's the soundtrack to a sell-off.
This is
It's the last battle. The final frontier, 18800.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Don't stop. Limit down. What's the limit? What's 5% in the NASDAQ?
Oh. I had the price. Andrew sent it to me. 17,863.
Okay, 17,863. Dun-dun. Let's go. Let's go. Don't change that music. Replay it. We're replaying that song.
Yep.
We're replaying that song. Get into those 80s. $41 points during a slow market trade. 5 minis, everybody.
I mean, there's room here.
Jeff says, Dakota, I heard today you've never won a trade. See what happens? Social media. Social media.
Somebody lied.
Anything for clicks and views and to sell whatever they're selling.
Top of the hour coming in, Coach Hoop. Good point. We usually see a little volume spike there. But this looks good. Those bids did not get filled. Whoever was putting that 100 lot out there did not want the fill. Unless they went to market. But we didn't really see that in the price action with a 100 lot at least. So just need to see some new selling coming in here. But this is a good trade.
I'm about to win my very first trade, everybody. My very first trade. You're seeing and witnessing it here first. My very first winning trade of the night. See how I twisted that, Jeff? Very first winning trade of the session. That's why I don't look at orders. Useless. But we didn't really get much of a momentum breakdown. I mean, actually, yes, we did, because that was 14 points in slow markets. So did I say I never won a trade earlier today? Sometimes I forget what I say. My memory is so bad. Okay, it's this song.
This music is epic.
Captain, yeah, this is. These are suggested. I'm going to spend some time outside. This is the first time I've listened to any of these songs. Yeah.
Oh, man. If anyone has ever played the game, I might be dating myself here, but the game Kid Chameleon. This song reminds me of Kid Chameleon. We're going to be talking a lot about music if we keep doing this.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. We'll do some. Yeah. Some Metallica. Well, remember it's non-copyright. We got to make sure. Got to make sure that. Look at that. 80s, 83s trade.
Nice trade.
83s. For a blink of an eye, we've seen 83 3/4. All right, let's change the tunes. We'll change the tunes.
Okay, I did buy 1 micro gold. Got to stay small here because this is an extended market. Only
Okay.
risking $200 on this. Bought
like
1
it.
micro gold. Looking for a 2-to-1 trade up to 3400s. Long
And
from
there's-
30, 64, 40. Staying real small.
Got it. Like it. And there is an order. There's 50 contracts sitting at 792, and that has not moved yet.
Upside, yep, I see that.
Price got within like a few ticks from it, and it hasn't moved. So that might be a actual real order. And we are back down into those 83s, 82s. 83s, 82s. I'm going to go ahead and close off one for profit if we get another bounce lower, drop lower, a little burst lower, a trickle
And
lower.
let's hope that 50 chases.
Yeah, chase it, baby.
Here go the 80s.
Chase it so I don't have to.
Got like a little iceberg going on here at 83.
Ooh, there we go, there we go. I'm gonna get one.
Filled.
Got out of one for profit. Let's go. 771.
102 offered at 785. They had to come down. Nope, they didn't come down. Somebody just added some size there. 102, 785s.
A little flushacito
Oh,
for.
yeah, there they go. They just chased 775. They just brought that 100 lot down 10 points.
Oh yeah, they did.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Keep pushing up. Moved it down again, 772s. If they get filled, we might see a pop here. There we go. They just got filled. Nice trade.
We'll move my CYA. Oh, and it's right at the peak. It's right at the top of the hour, everybody.
Look at that. Would you look at that?
No cussing, even if it's in Spanish, Revax.
Nice call on that top of the hour, Coach Hoop. Saw some volume coming in there. Where am I seeing this, guys? I'm looking at the Dom.
The Dom. The Dom. Here we go. Let's make another run lower into those 60s. Into those 60s. Locked in $1,200. 5 minis. I gotta make sure this is good. We're gonna be I'm gonna be clipping this one, and Peter Brandt improved. Remember, everybody, in the YouTube chat, there is the forms for the casting call, but also the Top Step risk disclosure. I don't know how the Nightbot knew that. Maybe it's queued on my friend Peter Brandt. Whenever I mention his name, can Nightbot post the risk disclosure? That'd be sweet. Yeah, here we are in a trade with short 5 minis. And it's been patience. Slow markets for sure, Coach Jay. It's been a very enjoyable slow markets, talking about very basic, education purposes only. Still in short for minis, looking to close off a few for educational purposes only. Down here into these 760s, demonstrating how to take profit in a market, etc., etc. Don't do this.
We got some game show music playing now. Tell him what he's won. I need
Come
like
on, some
five-
game show
five more
music, and we're
points.
doing NDA.
I need 5 more points out of gold for a spicy ribeye.
Okay.
I like the game show music.
This is it. Everyone tells us we're gambling, so no game show music.
The price is wrong, Bob.
The price is wrong, Bob. I'm excited for the new Happy Gilmore coming out. Anyway. All right, let's get these 60s, everybody. Let's get these 60s. Who said you can't trade? Let's get into those 60s. One more trickle
30.
down into those mid 60s, and I'll close another one out. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. I'm going to close one out right there at 69. 69. Come on, 69. Can we get a 69? 69 quarter.
Order filled.
Got to 69. That's a good sign. Let's keep going. We don't want to stop at 69. We want to keep going into those lower 60s.
Beautiful trade here. I'm gonna take at least $50 on this gold trade, and I'm super late to this move. Could have executed a little bit better, but why not get paid a little bit for my efforts here?
I like that, Jay. I like it. Seeing a little bit of support off that 69 level. More than just me was buying.
Yep.
A lot of
volume point of control right now is at 772. Most volume traded for the night is at 772, so that might hold up a little bit. We'll see. I don't see any more offers on the books that need to get that are chasing. That chase pushed us. You know, I know some traders say, you know, I don't look at the orders, they don't matter, but in a case like that is when they really do matter, right? Somebody needs a fill and they're not getting it. They start pushing market lower.
Yeah, I mean, we hit 69, and that was support. I closed one off right there at 69. Now,
nice.
we need to get back below it.
All right, I'm out of gold. Took $50.
Great trade. Great trade. That was in your XFA, correct?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Trader asked, what do I think of ES opportunities? ES is holding up a little bit better. I think we are at this 5,400 level, which is this major psych. So, you know, again, there is room down. How much do I expect out of a slow markets trade right now? I think Dakota caught the bulk of the move. But, you know, into tomorrow, New York session, with this gap still here, I think at some point we go fill it.
Well, 69 had to do me like that. We bounced right off of it. Maybe it was Elon Musk stepping in and buying it.
Yeah, I think as long as we 93s, let's see what happens at these 93s. 93 was the area we were looking at before, kind of held up. Right, that initial spike below 800 stopped right at 93. See if support becomes resistance.
Yeah. This market is still volatile, relatively volatile. Up 50 points still. Close that one off for plus. What was that? 50 plus another. About 60 points. Man, 60 points in slow markets.
Why did I close gold? Like I said, I was late to that move. Is there more room up? Potentially. But it kind of just looked like it was hesitating a little bit. I didn't want the trade to turn into a loser, especially since I'm late to the trend. Remember, I was saying if I originally wanted to buy it, it had to be much lower. So I'm kind of buying the highs of that move there. It was more of a see profit, take profit trade. It had to go right away.
Fair enough. Hey, sometimes it's that type of market.
$50, $50.
Yeah.
And we're, you know, rejecting at that 200 moving average on the 30-minute as well. So I said I did not really want to buy it up there. Somebody asked about market if touched orders. Market if touched, I don't think we have order types like that in Topstep X, but market if touched order is basically if the market gets to your price. Sometimes there's queues, right? If I place an order, you get queued with a live account. But if I go with a market if touched order, as soon as the price hits that, I'm going market and getting filled wherever. So it's kind of a way to skip the queue, but you're going to get a worse price than that limit order most of the time.
Right. I mean, this is a good conversation. At this level, right, when traders are becoming consistent, there's not much of a difference between that and a stop order.
No, there's not.
Right. It's a stop order is basically that. Market, as soon as the price gets to that level, it triggers into a market.
I like this song.
Like this.
Well, what is that?
I don't know. We'll
Is
switch.
that a marimba? Is that the instrument? A marimba?
It's very faint for me, man. So I like I said, I'm not sure of these songs.
Oh, you can't even hear it.
No, I'm gonna. Everyone gets mad if I turn it up a little bit. Marimba, no. Yeah, I was emphasizing 69, but for a reason. We bounced right off of it. Someone said, "Isn't that a higher high now?" If you're looking and basing it just off this 100 tick chart, sure. But remember, my trade and the setup and everything is on this 5-minute chart over here on the left-hand side, and we officially made a lower low over here on the 5-minute chart. So it is only natural if this market does push up to maybe seek for another lower high. So we've been like lower high, and breaking through those lows, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and just some simple market structure. Now, it doesn't mean that this definitely could be a breadcrumb that we change trends temporarily or permanently. You never know, right? But yeah, it does start with a break of a pivot. I would, of course, loved for this market just keep going down, 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 because I am in a short position. But yeah, good eye.
Hey, here we go.
There's that 100
Another
contracts
seller,
sitting at
100
86 still, Jay.
786. Yep, he's back. See if he gets a fill. So they did get a fill down at 772s. Let's see if they get a fill here or if they have to chase.
Make them chase. Chase it through that 69 level.
This will be good for that gold long too.
Should I say 68 because everyone's
Pulled it. They pulled it.
Oh.
I think we need that soundtrack to a sell-off again. It worked the last time.
Where was that at? Where was that sell-off soundtrack?
Okay.
We'll find
Got to
it.
bookmark that.
We gotta bookmark that. We need a long soundtrack and a short soundtrack.
Yep.
And then we'll grade the soundtracks and we'll put it in part of our process. And then we only play those songs when we're short and only those where they're long. And we could judge their track record. And
Right.
That's
It's like a baseball player where you got your walkout music, right?
It's like, man.
It's like, hey, play my song. I'm gonna hit one out of the park right now. 100 lot banger. Kind of slowing down, hesitating a little bit. We got that spike of volume right at the top of the hour, and chilling out now. But we are still holding that right 793s.
We're gonna see if we can switch the vibes here. Switching vibes. Tell me you're autistic without telling me you're autistic. You type in the YouTube chat that comment.
Play some Jay-Z.
I wish we could play copyrighted songs. Would be jamming out.
Oh yeah.
We'd have a good time.
Oh yeah.
This is good enough. We'll see. Holding these 80s right here, 84s. Oh man, I love the moderators here. Moderators are unmatched. Andrew.
Chat saying I'm looking blurry. I know I'm fading out, guys. It's getting late here.
It's what happens.
But
It's the music. What'd you think of that LeBron James, man? He's 22 years old, or 22. This is the 22 season. He's a 40-year-old man still putting up highlights in a playoff game.
It's insane,
man. I think
it's insane.
He's the oldest player in the league, right?
Chris Paul's still playing. Is he older than Chris Paul? They're about the same age, but I think he might be the oldest. It's crazy. LeBron has been in the league longer than he's been not in the league in his life,
and longer than most have been alive. Yeah, there's a lot of players there that are just crazy.
His NBA career would be graduating college right now.
Yeah, it's crazy what he's been able to do with his health. 40 years old, oldest one in the league, and putting up highlights in a playoff game. Like, I don't care what anybody says about it. The fact that you're still performing at that level in the playoff game is just,
right.
It just, I wish I could stay that healthy. I know I've been trying my best to keep my own health and my own brain, so that way I know I could trade and perform in the markets at peak as far as long as I can, of course.
All right, some next song. This one just started coming up with some words. That was weird. You let the song go for 3 minutes, and then he's like, all right, let me throw some lyrics on the end of this one. I do like that rejection at these 93s, Dakota. We kind of talked about that level.
Support becomes resistance. Resistance becomes support. Is that what you're like? Yeah, this was
Yep.
a nice level of support. And once again, will support become resistance? Because we've seen it up here. We've seen it up here into these 80, like 820 and 20s, right where I got into the order where my entry is, where it was support. And now that support did become resistance.
Nice trade so far. How many do you have left?
3. I'm still short 3 minis. Realized P&L up 2,500. And I tell you what, with that hindsight, 69 was the level.
Yeah.
Market makers heard us and they got excited and purchased it. I was not the only one interested.
We got some questions here. 2 back-to-back questions. Thoughts on ICT? Thoughts on ICT traders? I think there's validity to the concepts. I think it's just like anything, just like volume analysis, just like Dakota's technical analysis, it's a way to look at the markets. Is it wrong? Is it right? It depends on your interpretation of it and how you use the information to make trading decisions. It's a method.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone will develop. It's very important, no matter what method or what concept or what you're using. It's very important to develop your own process, regardless of who's teaching it or what it is. Develop your own process, right? Because no one's going to trade the same thing identical. Every trader is different. You could give 1,000 traders the exact outline in detail of how to get in and get out of a market and say this is successful, and everyone's going to come out with a different outcome during a longer period of time. So develop your own process, and if it works for you, that's it. That's all that matters, to be honest.
Yep. You could literally flip a coin and be profitable if you manage risk.
As crazy as that sounds, it's true. It is true. Now, if only I bought 69 on all of those contracts. Because now we are almost 30 points higher.
Yep.
But we've been in the same situation before, right? We went all the way back up almost to my entry, and then we sold off again.
What's your ultimate target on it?
I was looking for those 60s. I closed off 2, so I was able to close off 20% of my position, which I did. It was successful. I've moved my CYA closer to basically this pivot that we made, and so I'm only risking, I mean, what is 5-6 points on three minis. So I was looking to close out of another one if we got down to these 40s, 50s area, this support zone that we had not once, not twice, but 3 times during the New York session, and even once tonight, right? Twice during the New York, once tonight when we gapped down and sold all the way off down to those 750s. So that is what I'm looking for to close off another, 1 or 2 contracts. But I ultimately would love to have a runner if we can test those and then maybe eventually break those overnight. And like I was talking about this gap, there is that gap there. And it's very tempting, and look at that. We went from those 90s, and once again,
Nice
Coach Jay,
rejection.
as we were referring to,
Support becomes resistance.
support becomes resistance. Yep.
S&P's selling hard here.
That dropped off fast right there.
Man, these markets are presenting a ton of opportunity lately.
Yeah. I mean, there's a good example of, right, stair step up, elevator down. Let's get it. Support, Pillow Fort, trade report, Lakers in 5. I got you on Jay.
Luca Brasi says, I painted a house when Dakota started this short. It's already dry.
Hey.
I mean, we have been here for a little while. And this sounds like another soundtrack to a sell-off. So let's see if it works. Yeah, great patience in this trade. Nice trade.
Soundtrack's not doing it. Some of the chat got that reference.
The Lakers in 5. Oh yeah.
The support, Pillow Fort, trade report, full port, full port. That was a good one. Yeah, support, full port, trade report, Lakers in 5. Well, we didn't get any follow through on that one, man. Seeing some volatility coming in now, some wiggling, some come back up and testing these 90s. Yeah, that I think this now I'm starting to see a little bit of a change. We'll see if it gets knocked back down, but
It looked like they needed to hold that move there.
they did. Yep. Let's see if we're gonna hold these 90s as resistance again. We trap some bulls and then tank it. I mean, we're still only minus 0.06 and settlements 803s, and this is kind of the slow markets that I'm used to, where we're just going a whole lot of nowhere, consolidating. Stay classy. Let's do this one. I still think we have a good chance to get down to those 750s, 760s again. It's just timing. Slow markets, man. We could be in this trade for another hour, and so let's have that conversation of ending the stream. I'd give it 8 more minutes, Jay.
Yeah, that works. That works. 8 more minutes. I'm pretty much done here. Don't think I'm taking another trade. That gold out looks like a good decision so far. Maybe a nice short opportunity here in gold. Again, not a market that I really want to be short, but we could also still get those 3 down days in an uptrend. Today's looking pretty bullish so far. We are up almost 2% in gold, but that could change going into tomorrow. So I think I'm going to save some of my ammo for the New York session. Markets have been presenting a ton of opportunities. I want to make sure good to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, I like that. Good. That's one thing I was also battling, Coach Jay, is the fact I'm on fast markets in the mornings and being hesitant on taking the normal size trades I would, because like this one, this is a good example. And let me know your thoughts. Is I'm always hesitant taking my 5 minis, and yeah, I'm going to risk the 5,000 because, you know, if I take the loss, which I'm fine taking a daily loss limit, that's why it's my daily loss limit of $5,000. And if I lose $5,000 tonight, and then come tomorrow morning during fast markets, I trade a combine, and then everyone's, because I love transparency, and that's one thing I love Topstep is to talk about, hey, Dakota lost $5,000 last night. And then I sit there during slow markets on stream in front of thousands, right? Like, hey, minus 5,000. And then traders coming in not knowing what's going on. Like, all they say, oh, Dakota already lost 5,000 again. It's like, well, you seen the trade last night, didn't you? It's like, no, I just tuned in fast markets, and it just shows that. So there has been some hesitancy on my end, and it's more of an emotional, I guess, hurdle that I've been getting over. It's like, yeah, does it really matter? Because I just need to trade my own process. And then if I do have a good trade, I did it on Monday. When it came into fast markets plus 7,000, and yeah, maybe this one where I come into fast markets plus, you know, a few $1,000s. And so there has been that hesitancy for me to get into a trade with my normal size.
Right.
But we're seeing it here. I didn't hesitate this one.
Nope, and it's working.
Yeah.
Paid to execute. Getting paid to execute.
Yep.
Trading without words is asking why I don't show how much I made. $49.76. Not enough for the spicy ribeye.
Yeah, yeah. $49.76. There we go. There you go, chat, if you're so interested.
Need $6 more for that spicy ribeye. Next time.
Junior says the real ones know what's up. Yeah. That was interesting. So we've seen two things here tonight, Jay. We've seen that 100 contracts come in at the bid and they got pulled, and then we sold off. We've seen that 100 contracts come in at the ask, it got pulled, and now we're rallying. Is that telling you anything?
Does it say anything? I'm trying to think. So what did we see? We saw 100 get filled at 772 to the downside. So there was a buyer there that did have to take that out. A lot of times what will happen, Dakota, when we see these bigger orders get filled, we'll see a pullback. And then that position will get in the money. Maybe they're adding to a short up here. But yeah, not too much I'm getting from it. I think I would just pay attention to those prices where those orders got filled, right? So 772 was one of them. Where was the other one? 783 got pulled. So pay attention to those 772 is kind of right at the lows of where we are right now. We can see on that last pullback, that's where we stopped, right? That became the volume point of control. We know we have traders that trade volume profile and things like that. A reason I really like looking at the DOM and watching the order flows, because you see the volume profile get built in real time, right? Somebody's going to look at today's volume point of control for tomorrow and try to identify a trade based on that. We just saw it kind of play out in real time, right? Orders got filled at 772.
Right.
That's volume point of control, and we bounced right at that. So major level there, and we'll see how the market responds tomorrow.
Yeah, and we have settlement right at 18,803, right? And we've seen it act as support, and we bounced 30 plus points off that, and we tried to hold the support one more time at this settlement, and then we sold off, and now we're right back in that zone. And so Like I said, this is still that support resistance zone right here around settlement. We did get down to 769 that we were. I was closing some and profit, right there at the bottom too. 69 and a quarter is what I got filled at. Sometimes that's how it works. And then we rally up. We're right in that zone again. So will this zone act as resistance? It looked like we were going to for a moment there at those 94s, 90s. But yeah, like I said, it's slow markets. Zones are a little bit wider, and yeah, let's see if this can hold as resistance. And going back to what I was saying earlier, is we have those lower high, a lower high, and another, maybe, possibly a lower high. We also had the low, and then we had a lower low, and then once again a lower low down to that 69 level. And so this is normal and very healthy price action, which is just weird for slow markets after getting used to some crazy markets for the past month. And then if you measure these average moves, right? So if we go to this low to that high that we first bounced off of, then it is very realistic that we could see something similar, maybe back up to 804s and then maybe get a sell off. I don't know. Like this is just technical analysis going through these market moves. It's slow markets. It change in an instant when it's very low volume, like slow markets, and that's why I'm always for having a little bit wider of a stop loss in this market environment. And happy I took profit down there.
Good stuff. Richard Harris, I had to check if you were still here. I accidentally muted you. Wanted to make sure you could still talk. Sagor has a question. I know we're ending the stream here in a couple minutes. Sagor has a question. How can you tell whether they're buying or selling on the DOM? Any orders that you see below the market are passive buyers. Any orders that you see above the market are passive sellers. Let's pull up an S&P DOM real quick. Let me pull up my. Okay. You guys can pull up an S&P DOM real quick.
Yeah. There's your.
I'm gonna pick a price. I'm gonna trade a.
There's that 100 contracts again, Jay.
Are they back?
Yeah, 798.
Okay, let's watch this. Did I just get? Oh yeah, on the bid.
Yeah, on the bid, 798 at the bid.
So let's watch it. That's a passive buyer, right? So they are looking to buy the market. We don't know whether they're buying to open or close a position, but it's a limit order at 798. We can see how the market kind of reacted to it.
Yeah, we're now right at settlement again, just above it by a few points. And it's gone.
Right. So what happens when those big orders come out? And I think more than just paying attention to the order, it's paying attention to the market's reaction to the order, right? In this case, 100 lot got put out at 798. In order for us to trade to 797, somebody has to sell 100 contracts. If there aren't enough market participants to sell those 100 contracts and somebody's sitting in a short, if price doesn't move lower and you're short, what do? You buy. So that's why we see that reaction. And now that it's pulled, the market has the room to sell lower. So
that's 3 times, right? We've seen the 100 contracts come in at the bid, it got pulled, and then we sold off.
Right.
Then we seen the 100 contracts come at the ask, it got pulled, and it started rallying up. We just seen that 100 contracts again come in at the bid, it got pulled, and we're selling off again, right? And then I just talked about those measured moves, right? This is that one measured move, and we take that and look at this, right? Like
just selling.
Look how it's uncanny how sometimes it could work like that, right, Coach Jay? Like, look how perfect that bounce was, and then a sell off, and we just had a bounce almost identical to that. And so now. The question is, do we have a sell-off identical to the previous one?
Right.
And that happens to be lined up with where that support zone is. So, maybe
so.
Maybe so.
I am I see some traders say, how do I get my dom to show that? You do have to pay for level 2 data in order to get that. But you don't need it. You don't necessarily need it. And PG had a comment in here that says it usually is a hedge against options, futures positions. It could be, right? I think from reading order flow though, I don't know if it helps to try to figure out whether or not it's a hedge. It could be, right? We have no, and we already know innately futures products are used to hedge positions. I don't know if I get any more information trying to figure out whether or not that position is actually a hedge, right? Where the volume tells you enough. Go ahead.
100 to ask. 783.
They keep playing around with that price because they were just bidding 783.
Oh, did that get filled?
Partial.
Weird.
Yep. No, it did. Yeah, full thing got filled. Full thing got filled.
All right. Well, that's weird. That's interesting. That's a change. That's a change. I like that one. Yeah, filled. I'm already in at a better price than them. Let's get this.
Another one.
Another one. 400, dude. 400 to 89.
Man, I was getting ready to go to sleep. Now this is just
300 now, 88.
Here they go.
Okay, gap fill. Let's get it. All right, gotta sit up on my chair for a moment.
Yeah, this is gonna push now.
Let's see what's gonna happen here. Sorry, Jay. If you need to go, go.
No, I'm here now.
You're here now. Yeah, let's watch these. 400 and then 300 just came in. Change in sentiment happened right there. Wow.
I just wish I was in this short, but nice trade, man.
Oh, there's the breakthrough 69s.
Somebody earlier said size doesn't matter on the books.
They just said do it.
It looks like it matters now.
Hey, last time we seen orders like this, Jay, we woke up and market was down like 2%, like 2%. Yep. And hey, you know what? I was complaining a little bit about the market being up and down 2% every time I wake up. When you're in an order, I don't mind it going down 2%. We're down 0.2% now. Let's get this sell-off continuation. Looking to close off some more for profit down here in the 740s, 750s. Let's see a momentum break. And once again, technical analysis. What was we talking about? That pullback working to it's beautiful sometimes when it works like this. Absolutely beautiful.
I love the combination of technical and volume analysis right now because this is a perfect trade. It really is. And seeing the size come in on the books and affect the markets like that, they're still sitting up there. They haven't moved. That much size.
It spooked the market.
If they start, they definitely spooked the market, right? We just talked about that, right? If there are bigger orders out there, sometimes the order isn't the story. It's the market's reaction to that order. We just saw 700 contracts get put out on the market there, and what happened? We're down 30 points from exactly where those stepped in.
I'm moving my stop loss to 811. That made me another beautiful pivot, another example of beautiful pivot. Chance to limit risk. Worst case scenario, 21 points for three minis. Still short, and we are going into those 50s, into the 50s.
So if they start to chase with those orders,
oh, look out below.
This is going much lower.
Look out below. I want to see these 50s, and 40s. It's just. Let's make a note. This is called Here and Now by, I can't even pronounce the name. We're gonna replay this song. Into the 50s. Process over profits, everybody. Trade in size. All right, I'm going to look to close off one more for profit down here if we could get a little bit of a trickle lower. Get in by joining the bid. Now that we're really close to that same measured move down, measured moves for the win. Technical analysis.
Yeah, I hope that was a good out on that gold short. This is selling off too. S&P's selling too.
Sell it all.
Look, sell it all today.
Now.
Yeah, I want to buy gold too, but yeah, I can't do it until lower. And we're seeing gold sell off right now as well, which is not what you would expect with the equity selling, but here we are back at VWAP right now in gold.
Trading without words. Dakota, is your best trade in a live account? Nope. I've had 20K days. Trades too. I've been in 10 minis. I've been in 30 minis. This is... Get back down into those 40s. Let's continue selling this market. I guarantee you, Jay, if my stop loss was down there at 730, we would have already been there. All right, here we go. Let's sell them off again. 60s acting as a...
Those orders haven't moved.
Those orders are still there?
Yeah, they haven't moved.
Okay, yep. That's nice because we're gonna be having you on Mondays too, Jay. So I mean that's just in time for everybody.
Yeah.
And
right.
I absolutely love this combination of talking volume, talking these orders coming in, and the mix of technical analysis.
It works. It works. Like I said, next time I'm taking the trade, but it works. Less talk, more trade.
Mm-hmm. Come on, one more trickle down into the 40s, and I'm going to close off probably I'm going to close off a little more and get ready to get ready to end the session. But we keep going, everyone. We keep going, and it's sad to see that the likes are not as up.
Wait, hold on. Where are we at in likes right now?
I don't know. Disappointing. We give this content to you, and the chat doesn't.
460. We got 1,600 people watching still. We appreciate you all being here. Hit a thumbs up for us if you can.
Yeah. All right, where are those orders
Can I
at?
fix my camera? I can't. 87. 88, 89.
Yeah, they're still there.
'88s and 89.
Mm-hmm. 56 is held. I was looking for a little bit lower.
Gold is still tanking right now.
Gold still taking?
Yep.
It was breaking down. Is that the VWAP? What is that red line?
In gold, yeah, that's VWAP. Ton of volume there. So let's see what that actually means. But could be a volume reversal, but it is kind of at the high of this move, so they might just be getting started selling this.
All right. Hopefully they're just getting started selling this too over here in the NASDAQ. Yeah, if those orders start chasing it.
I mean, if they chase, this is going a lot lower.
Yeah,
chase into the gap at this point, right?
Yeah, chase it. Yeah, if we start breaking through these 50s, I mean, definitely, yeah, look out below. This is a decent sized zone, though. But here we are, right back into the 50s. Let's see if we could hold below, find that momentum. Some consolidation here.
We had a question from Jay in the chat, and it's a great name, so I got to respond to the question. When they have those huge orders in, what does that mean for the market? It really depends, Jay. It depends on the market's reaction to them. And like I was saying before, the big orders are only half the story. The market's reaction to those big orders tell us how the market actually feels. Sometimes we're going to see those big orders and the market fills the order. That means in whatever the market is, in whatever direction the market is going, aggressive market participants are okay with the market going in that direction. What did I just say? Right now, we have 300 contracts at 18,788 and 400 contracts at 18,789. In order for us to fill those, we need buyers to come in. If buyers step in and buy those contracts, aggressive market participants are okay trading bigger size. If it fills, then we want to see what the reaction is afterwards. Do they continue buying, or did they just take out that order and go from there?
Right.
What we saw today was big order steps in. What is the market? Again, order steps in, that's only half of the story. What is the market's reaction to those orders? In this case, the market ran away from it. There are no bigger market participants willing to buy these orders here. What happens when you're a buyer and price doesn't go up? You sell, and that's why we see that 30-point sell-off there. Watch fast markets this morning. The same exact thing happened. We saw a bunch of 1,000 lots getting traded in the S&P.
Yes.
And then there was another one at 500. No one was willing to buy it. The market sells off.
Exactly.
Yeah, MP in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat. We've been talking. This has been a banger of a trade, MP. We're talking. If you could see this. Look at the DOM over here. We watched these 400 contracts and the 300 contracts come in earlier. Before, when we were up around my entry point and around the settlement price 803, we had 100 contracts coming in every once in a while. We had 100 contracts coming at the bid. They got pulled, market sold off. 100 contracts came at the ask, got pulled, it rallied. And now we've seen those two big orders come in, and this market is pushing these lows. And Jay was in a gold long, made some money, and we are in this NASDAQ short. We've been in this short since the start of slow markets. And yeah, it's been the first test of music too. We don't have that. We don't have that pit chatter, but we do have some nice music.
This is a nice trade going on here. Did they come down a little bit? No, they're the same prices.
Yeah, they're the same price. But we're watching this. If we could fail and get to these 40s, I'll start to look to close off a couple more contracts down here. Yeah, every time we get above 61, I can see those orders come in. You can see the DOM get thinner, unless they could just get pulled. Did those just get pulled?
Nope. The bigger ones, they're still there. They're still there.
Okay. Yeah, keep an eye. If they get pulled, I might decide to close off one or two. Yeah, we've got the music now.
Yeah. All right, I got long a micro gold again. Risking about $100 on this. See if this holds.
All right.
And look at for 3400s. 53.10. Really want to see it close above 58 here. Guy in the song, he said he feels like Kobe.
Man, Kobe's the true GOAT.
Yep. Might be some explicit words in that song.
We need that to take the market down. All right, here we go into NASDAQ. NASDAQ's starting to test the lower. Let's hop over and let's watch it. Let's see if we can break through this 55s. 55s. Ooh, let's see it. We're starting to see a little bit of volatility come in. Consolidating at this 60 back and forth, but I like that we're consolidating here, kind of going sideways rather than going up. We still have a little bit ways to go. I want to see the test of these lower 40s. Those big orders still up there, Jay. I am still.
They are still there.
Yeah, 300 at 388, and what was the other one at?
88s and 89s.
Okay.
Gold looks like it wants to continue here. Probably gonna get stopped out of this trade. Should have took my non-spicy ribeye.
Hey, process over profits, man.
Yep. All right. Slowing down here a little bit, but again, those orders out there.
Man, what a Wednesday too, man. What a Wednesday. Markets needs to tee us up for this fast markets in the morning.
Are you on fast markets tomorrow?
I'm on fast markets, bright and early, baby.
Nice. I will. Maybe I'll sleep in.
Hey, I did today. I took my loss earlier. That's one day. You know, that's a positive thing. If you take your loss at night, you can just sleep in.
We got a question from Teco. Would you consider adding to this trade?
No, the ads were back up there on the pullback. I'm in the profit taking zone or profit taking mode in this trade, or
Baron and Dakota on tomorrow.
says
Nice.
I have the Trump glow. I mean, I'm wanting these markets to tank too. Oh, it's looking heavy, man. It's looking heavy.
No size on the bids downside. 27 at 750.
Yeah.
Gold starting to bounce a little bit.
How much do you see this correlation between gold and the equities, Jay? Do you pay attention to that stuff?
Yeah. Pretty heavy correlation. And it kind of makes sense. There have been a couple of days where we've seen the equities selling off and gold selling off as well. And I talked to Coach Paul about that, and he said, think about what might be happening. If you're getting margin called for holding equities and you need to cover margin, you're doing it, you're going to sell an asset that you're profitable on, right? So we have seen them move in tandem. And, shout out to Coach Paul for that kind of analysis. And is it 100% what's going on? It's a good hypothesis, right? He's been in this business for a long time. But for the most part, we've kind of been seeing when equities sell, gold rally.
Yeah, makes sense. And here we go, breaking through those 56s. Now let's see if we can make a run to those 40s, and I can take a little bit more profit off on this position. Started with 5 minis and worked our way down to 3, so that's 20% of the position so far. And this is slow markets for a reason, everybody. Don't like how we didn't get any momentum there. I think I might just get out of one at the bid here, Coach Jay. I'm going to get out of one at the bid. Let's see if we could get, let's get out of one. Limit a little bit of risk now that this is starting to slow down here near the end. This is a support zone after all, and with a zone, it's not rocket science. So got out of one. So now I am back. I am down to 2 minis. Stop loss is in profit at 811. Locked in $4,000 with $3,000 unrealized. And if we could push back down to these 40s, I will close off my last one. And then maybe leave a runner overnight. Can we have a run overnight? It's been a while since I held a trade overnight because of all the headline risk. But we do have this gap that is very tempting for the market to fill. And that's just a casual 300, 400 points lower, which in this type of market condition is really doable. And here we are. I had to close one off so that this market can sell off back into these lower 50s. It's working. Whatever's working. Let's note the jam that's going on. Shot clock. Yep. Let me switch it up here. Let's see if we get these 40s.
Great trade here.
40, upper 40s. I seen those peak. One more push lower into the mid 40s, and I'll out of another one. Oh, almost.
It's just really no size on the books here.
It's just grind down, man. That's been kind of the theme what we've been talking about when this market's been selling off. It's not a panic sell in no means. It's just been uniform sell-offs when this market's been going down. And you're still in gold, correct, Jay?
Yep. Yeah, I'm still long. Just holding this. Move my stop down a little bit to 33, 38. Moved it down just a little bit, but still in it. I'm okay losing money buying gold.
Hey, yeah, I'd rather lose money buying gold than lose money selling it. I know,
Right.
because you feel bad. I mean, sometimes that's how I am. I'm the same thing with equities with this NASDAQ, because I'm a promo bull, and I've always like, man, I'd rather lose money buying the NASDAQ than lose money selling it. But over the past month, you just have to change, because it's been selling, and this uniform sell-off I was just referring to, it has been, very profitable. And someone says, Dakota, check the 1 hour. So let's do it. Let's. It's been a while since we zoomed out, so let's zoom out to an hourly chart. And boy, man, that is looking very enticing, very juicy for the short side, where that same analysis we did at the very beginning of the show, right? Where I was talking about this was support, was resistance on the way up, and now it looked like it was going to become support. Sure enough, we put on the risk in this market. I put on the risk on this market. I say we, but remember, this is for educational purposes only. My friend Peter Bryant making sure about those risk disclosures, and we are getting that sell off. So if we do start to break from the hourly perspective, remember that same technical analysis I did over here on the 5-minute chart?
You're showing my charts, Dakota.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it was almost perfect. Anyway,
We understood
you guys
what you were
heard,
saying, though.
You guys got to hear it. It's just as good. But anyway, these 850s right here. So you can see where it was resistance, and it became support on the hourly chart, and then that became resistance again. So it's the same analysis I was doing on the 5-minute. It's the same exact, where we said this is a high, this is a lower high. We just put in a lower high. So now if we break this, then we could start to see a more aggressive sellers coming in. Maybe we could come down here towards this 640 level, and look at this market starting to sell off into those 40s, and then we have that gap to deal with. So that gap would start to look even better and better. We've seen those big orders come in, Jay, that 400 contracts, 300 contracts, spooked the market. And if those start to get more aggressive, and we are testing these lows on that 1 hour chart, so good shout out.
Has the potential
reminding
to
be
be
zoom
a
out.
massive trade.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, but that remember, looking for base hits. No trade is just, hey, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to catch a 200-point banger. But 80 points during slow markets, was in 5 minis, still in 2 minis. I'm going to just take and follow that process. If we get back down into these mid 40s, I'll close one more, and I'm going to leave a runner overnight and basically be locking in the profit and set myself up for tomorrow morning in fast markets.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I have an order in to add a contract if gold does break out to the upside. Put it at 33.58 evens. If we do move to the upside, I'm going to add a second contract in gold. Target is going to be just under 3,400, 33.98.
Got it.
Let us know, traders. Do we like the music for slow markets? Do we like this vibe for slow markets?
Yeah, good shout out, Jay. How has the music been? Market's loving it compared to our position, but yeah, of course, there's some fine tuning to do. But I've liked it, Jay. Have you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
CB says
the
not
exact
this music.
Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna have
we'll
a
figure that
different
out.
taste, right? But the exact music will be figured out and adjusted. But the overall idea where we could talk back and forth, have a little bit of music in the background, and analyze these markets. Can't hear a thing? And then when it gets really intense, we could play some intense music and crank it up. I thought I was in an elevator. Yeah, well, hey, Jay's blurry camera is on my end, and that's going to be a work in progress. It seems like it always is. It was working pretty good for a little bit, and then I have to go over here and click on one button, click on another button, refresh it. You disappear for a minute, and then it's, boom, nice and clean. So we'll see. Well, usually it's boom, nice and clean, but always tweaks, fine-tuning, adjusting, improving. All right, let's end it in 2 minutes, Jay. Man, I keep saying that, but here we are.
And then another 500 live is going to come on the books. Coming on the books. 500 live.
We're going to be here all night. We're going to be here all night.
They're just like, let's see what we can do to keep this stream going. It's probably MP playing around with the house account.
He's like, they're going to end it. So,
marathon stream.
Yeah, let's do it. Don't stop this. Don't stop the party. But
I mean, hey, if you're making money off on the back end of it, we'll take it.
Yeah, the dollar per hour based off this trade is pretty up there. Yeah, see, now your camera's 4K.
There we go. Yeah, Josh, I should have been in it too. I should have took a short. I was busy trading gold. It is what it is. If I think about all the trades that I don't make every day, I'd be pretty sad.
It'd be a few hundreds of them.
Right. There's going to be more opportunities tomorrow morning, and that's my best trading time tomorrow morning, so
yeah,
we'll
no FOMO.
Execute then.
No FOMO, Tally says. All right, let's get to these mid-40s now. Come on. What little push lower. Maybe a big push lower. I don't mind a big push if the market wants it. Get out of this trade, cover it, and finish this stream on a bottom tick. Yeah.
Ken says I'm pretty sad. I mean, yeah, I could be sad about this trade. That would be a really nice one to be in, but sad's not going to help me make any money.
Hey, I posted something on Twitter today and it said, you can complain about the weather, but you can't change it. All right, into these 40s. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can get it, any sustained sell-off. If we can hold into those mid-40s. Yeah, we're struggling to find any follow-through because we are at this level of support, so it makes sense. That's why I'm
another top of the hour
one. Yeah, it's right at the bottom of that, bottom or top of the hour. So let's see if I could get out of this trade and we could call it an evening, man. Late night for everybody.
Oh yeah, gold is gonna sell here, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of this one. Let's see if I can get out of this one at the bid. I'm bidding 49. There we go. Got out of that one. My position is very good. Locked in 17 points no matter what. Realized 5,700. Coach Jay, you made some money on gold. And I am going to leave a 1 mini runner short in the NASDAQ, 829. Any last words, Jay?
Great trading, great session as always. Always great trading with you, man. Hopefully you guys learned something today and were entertained at the same time. I think it was a great show. Thanks for hanging out late night, and we'll do it all again next week.
Yeah, take care, everybody, and see you tomorrow morning.